Babylon exile came about, and the prophets scatter, every man for himself. Everybody goes for what they know. They take all that they have with them, their name, their title, their skill set, and they go and they look to be independent consultants in God's name within these varied kingdoms. And Jeremiah would beg and plead prior to the fall prior to the transition of power. Jeremiah would beg and plead. And then even after, Jeremiah comes forth as a monumental vessel that God would be able to use, because he couldn't use any of the others. They were full of wickedness. They were not in alignment. The Spirit of God could not flow through them as fluidly, making Jeremiah extremely necessary in a way that these other prophets could do nothing about. They've fallen out of alignment. They've lost favor. They haven't lost the love, but they've lost the time to be able to fall back into alignment and to reap the reward of having such a relationship right when it's necessary. It takes years to get yourself in such a space. And in this instance, time is of the essence. So Jeremiah comes forward and he's telling these people things that he's getting from God as to how long this exile will last, what the children should do while they are in exile, what they shouldn't. And he's being contended by two individuals that are telling the children other things that are not truthful. And these people come and they negate Jeremiah, and they're using their name. They're using how popular they were amongst the children, even though they were wicked, false prophets. Smoke and mirrors, no substance. Surely they had risen in ranks that God allowed them to rise within, using all of God's stuff, but they had turned their back on God a long time ago. And all they were doing was floating within that particular system, placating as if they are having a relationship with God, but using God's system and doing wickedness behind the scenes. And Jeremiah, they want to get rid of Jeremiah now. They know the problem. They know just what I told you, that they're not in alignment. And God is starting to show rebuke and retribution upon all that are out here playing around. It's come to the time where God is saying it's time to pay up. It's time to reconcile the books. But he doesn't do it in a way where he comes down and he has a court hearing and he says, okay, everybody come and I'm going to condemn you, Josiah. I'm going to condemn you, Shemaiah. I'm going to condemn you, all X, Y, and Z. He doesn't do it that way. He lays out an experience. He makes everybody uncomfortable. Like having a bag of beans in your hand and you cast them all down on the ground and you look to see where they scatter. That's what he does. Everybody out here dancing. Friend, you're dancing whether you think you're dancing or not. One day you're going to be glad that I told you these things. You're going to look back and say, that lady was right. You're dancing. You think you're the one deciding your moves. And you are. But to what music? What tune? Is it really you that's moving? Or are you looking to orchestrate the movements based upon ego and projection? Are you allowing your body to move to the rhythm as it comes to you innately? Innately meaning as it comes to you genuinely? Are you just being yourself and allowing yourself to move in the way that you truly feel you should move? Or are you managing your movement because you don't want to look a certain way? You don't want to make other people feel uncomfortable. You don't want people to see you dance like that. You want to dance in a way that looks cool because you want to be cool. So you have all of these limitations that you put upon the flow that God is provoking you to move within, altering the will of God because you want to be popular. You want people to like you. Meanwhile, Jeremiah is out here moving fluidly in the way God needs him to move. And because of that, these prophets that were already in place and that had held very strong seats and had very strong relationships and had very strong names amongst the community at one time, prior to all of this chaos, they want to get rid of Jeremiah. And they're using the fact that Jeremiah is moving in ways that God is provoking him to, and they are denying it. They're using this against Jeremiah. They're trying to say Jeremiah is crazy. Yeah. They're saying Jeremiah is out here false prophesying. He's telling lies and misleading the people. And that all of the things that he's coming forth and telling the people are because he's crazy. When it could be nothing further from the truth. Jeremiah is holding it down on so many different levels. You've got to understand what we mean by prophets. We're talking about people that know how to move in the world of spirit fluidly. They understand the dynamics of spirit. They know the sciences of spirit. They know the language of God, and they know how to communicate. And if you know the language of God and you know how to communicate to God, then everything that is beneath God, you know how to communicate with as well. It gets no higher than God. So if you're doing all of these things for God, in the name of God, as an ordained prophet of God, then you've got dominion. Well, you've got dominion beneath these things, beneath the things of God regardless. But you know how to maneuver within those sub-levels, the angelic realm and the demonic realm, and all realms in between. This is what Jeremiah is up against. He's up against his own brethren that have just as much spiritual prowess as him. Jeremiah is not handicapped. Jeremiah is not somewhere scared of these people. All Jeremiah is frustrated with them. He can't overstep his boundary and make them do his will. They must be in agreement with Jeremiah in order for them to be on the same accord. And this is the biggest frustration that Jeremiah would have with these people. Is getting them all on the same accord. He's not afraid of them. He could contend against them. In fact, the fact that Jeremiah is able to keep his level of stasis amongst them lets you know that he's able to contend. Because these people would have gotten rid of Jeremiah a long time ago. They couldn't. He was contending with them. He's going toe to toe. He's controlling them. How? Through the power of God. Something that they did not have. It was the one single aspect that changed everything.